Are we able to make a link directly to ROI where engagement's concerned?
Yeah, engagement is an interesting one. I was giving a talk in San Francisco years ago, and the topic that I was given at the presentation was health engagement and productivity, and how, as I mentioned before, you can't have productivity without a solid foundation of health.
Right,
So by definition, then you can't really have engagement without people actually showing up and doing the work, right?
right.
It's kind of like a foundational thing with health at the bottom, followed by productivity, followed by engagement. The audience is about half HR people who understood the concept of engagement, how I was presenting it, which is beyond discretionary effort, but it's really, who do you really want to hire, and hold on to those workers, the people who are showing up, they're happy, they're not contributing to negative, toxic subcultures or things like that within an organization.
Mhm.
And the other part of the people in the audience were primarily wellness and well-being people, and they view engagement as just a surrogate for participation, which, from my perspective, when you're working with human resources, you should learn the human resources words and their definitions rather than trying to
Absolutely.
trying to rename it somehow. So everywhere I go, I try and rename this concept of engagement as participation, because that's really what they're trying to get to. Now, I think that you have to have the right type of engagement, for lack of a better
Mhm.
term, in the sense that you're focusing on the right people who are those who are in need of those interventions the most, and you're getting
Mhm.
them to participate in the programming. They're getting their annual health screening visits. They know what their numbers are, they know what their blood pressure, their cholesterol, these sort of things, because those are the things that we're trying to move the needle on from a chronic
Mhm.
disease risk reduction and prevention perspective. So I see a lot of employers talking about engagement. Some are focusing in on the original definition of the term. Some are using it as a surrogate for participation. At the end of the
Mhm.
day, you call it whatever you want. You really want to get people to use the programming and leverage the benefits that the organization is offering up.